Aries, welcome. And welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I feel like it's been forever. How are you? Tell me everything. How's June been? How was it? How is it? Tell me everything. We're talking about July, which is crazy to me. I know I say that every month. Oh my gosh, but it is just so crazy how fast time goes. Let me move my coffee here. Okay, I have coffee, I have water. I'm like, what other liquid can I put around me? Anyway, so let's talk about you. Like I said, we're talking about July. See what message. Oof. I mean, I shuffle the cards a million times before I start these readings, but I felt like I needed to shuffle that many more times. Just okay. We're gonna do a 6-card spread. So just 2 rows of 3. Shuffle a million times. Okay. Shuffle a couple more times just to get that integrated. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what the message is. We have the 10 of Pipes, or the 10 of Wands, the High Priestess, 6 of Pipes, the Seed, or the Fool, the World, oh my gosh, and the Grandfathers, or the Star. Holy crap. Wow. And the 10 of Stones. Okay, I just wanted to get everything in order, give them some room to breathe here. This is beautiful. Like I say that every reading, and I mean it every single time. I feel like I say that. Anyway, so cool. The fact that the 2 cards that are even on the table are both Wands, everything else is a major arcana, and then we have the 10 of Stones or the 10 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. There's definitely something either catching or like taking off. I guess those are kind of like 2 sides of the same coin, really, I guess, depending on perspective. But we start with the 10 of Wands. Now, traditionally, the 10 of Wands talks about burden, being a bit overwhelmed. It's, you know, kind of taking on too much responsibility. But I also see it as, you know, kind of carrying the knowledge and the experience and the information that you've gained along the way, because Wands have to do with action and communication. And to me, they are also cards of information and experience, because obviously by doing things, you gain experience and knowledge that way. Now in this deck, this is the Medicine Woman Tarot. Love this deck. The guidebook is beautiful too. Like just the take that Carol Bridges takes on the tarot journey. Absolutely beautiful. And I also sell it in my Etsy store if you want to check it out. But in this deck, the 10 of Pipes talks about using all of that knowledge and all that experience that you've gained and, you know, kind of bringing it home and teaching other people. We have this child back here right? We have all these tools here, just kind of different mediums. And she looks to be painting. So, you know, it's kind of sharing that knowledge, like maybe becoming a teacher, maybe becoming a mentor. So, you know, I think it's just kind of maybe dependent on your situation, whether you feel like you've been burdened, or you feel like you know, kind of have all this experience and not feeling overwhelmed by it. But also, 10s are the completion of the thing. So even if you are feeling overwhelmed, this would signify that that's coming to an end. Like, for, you know, the reasons for why you have been overwhelmed or feeling that way. Like, maybe you have really been focusing your energy into your work. Maybe you've really been, you know, kind of trying to build something. Like, if you have your own business, maybe you've been trying to build something. But maybe, you know, like, you've really been digging into your work and just trying to get like a firm grounding in that. And this would signify that that's happened, or it is happening. And then we have the Fool underneath it, or the Seed. And again, you know, in this deck, and I guess really in general, the Fool is the beginning of a journey. It is the seed. Like, you plant the seed that, you know, ends up being the world, basically, which we have right next to the Fool. But this is embarking on a new journey. You know, this could be inspiration coming in. This could be, you know, taking the knowledge and the experience that you've gained and embarking on a new journey. I mean, maybe you are looking for a new job, like something that maybe makes a bit more money. Based on your experience level here, it could even be just a promotion within like your same company. Again, you know, like based on your experience, you're getting promoted and recognized for that. If you own your own business, maybe you're trying something new out with it. Because this would signify that you have been, you know, kind of trial and error. You have been maybe trying different things. And again, you know, really kind of putting your energy into it. And the Fool would signify that there would be some sort of new energy coming in. It doesn't have to be like a complete 180. It certainly can be. It doesn't have to be. But maybe you're even just kind of changing the way that you're selling your products, or that you're marketing your services, or something along those lines. Or, before we move on to the next column, it could just be that you are actually going to be offering your service or offering your products. If again, and this is if you want to or have an established, you know, business. This could just be starting to put it out there, recognizing that you do have the experience and going for it. Because that's what the Fool does, right? Like, there's this level of surrender and trust that goes into the Fool. Because you are literally just kind of like walking off this cliff and just, you know, hoping that the path basically opens up for you. And it does. It always does. And then we have the High Priestess here. And the High Priestess talks about intuition. I always say that the High Priestess is our star player. Like, I see the High Priestess as being our higher selves. So it's, you know, kind of tuning into our own, you know, kind of inner guidance system, which is our intuition. and letting that, you know, kind of guide us instead of, you know, kind of coming from this mind space. But in this deck, she's holding this mirror here, and in this deck it talks about the High Priestess. I mean, basically the same principle as far as like looking within yourself to find the answers. And it's also number 2. So we go, you know, did you just hear my, I just got a chime from my my smoke alarm. So hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My dog is not a fan when the smoke detector chirps. So I had to like, I had to make sure that it wasn't going to chirp again. I swear I just changed all of the batteries and every single one of them last year. So there's no way. I think that really was just a message for you guys. I don't know if you heard it or not. But, so we were talking about the High Priestess. And like I said, the High Priestess in this deck, let me just, I have the guidebook here. Let's see. I am the seeker, High Priestess of my own destiny. I look first within myself for the cause of all that I see before me. My world is but a manifestation of that which is taking place within my psyche. My soul speaks to me in images, telling me of possibility. I hold in my own mind a book of knowledge of all past events and those to come. I have access to the universal memory through an ever-developing, I have access to the universal memory through my ever-deepening states of meditation and attunement. I am the questioner of all that is, lifting the veils that cloud my inner knowing. There's more. There's like 2 or 3 pages that talk about the seeker, but you know, and honestly, I think it's even that much cooler that this card comes up right behind or right next to the 10 of Pipes, because, you know, like I was saying, right, like the 10 of Pipes traditionally talks about knowledge and, you know, the experiences that we gain along the way. And the seeker or the High Priestess there is saying, you know, like we have our own knowledge within ourselves and our own guidance system. And sometimes, of course, like just due to conditioning, society, blah, 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 the things, we tend to get away from that a little bit. Because, you know, I mean, we're just kind of all surviving anyway, right? So, and then we have the World. And it's interesting that we go from the Fool to the World here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. There's a ghost in my house. I don't know if ghost is the right word. But anyway, I don't know if you can hear the chirping, but then I'll like stop the video and I'll go stand over in that area to see which one, like what room it's in, and it doesn't chirp. So anyway, again, you know, I mean, like, I feel like that's like for you, but I don't want my poor dog like freaking out. Poor thing. He's so worried. So anyway, we have the World here, or the Dancer. And isn't it cool how we go from the seed to the Dancer? Like, you know, planting all of these seeds and then, you know, seeing this harvest here. There's this harvest and there's, you know, community. And, you know, the World signifies the end of an era it's the end of the cycle. I mean, it's literally the end of this journey. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be like this huge thing. It can be, absolutely. But it's just, you know, kind of the actualization of these seeds that you planted. You've gone through the whole journey. And a few of the cards that pop up in that journey are also here on the table. But like the lessons that you needed to learn, the experiences that you needed to have, the people that you needed to meet, the relationships, all of the things, right? Depending on, of course, your situation, those things have been actualized. Like you've seen what you needed to see, right? And it's like kind of time to move on. And it's, you know, you go from being the dancer, you go from the world right back into the fool. So just, you know, this continual cycle, going through experiences, gaining knowledge, learning lessons. And then we have the Six of Pipes, or the Six of Wands, which is success, victory, harmony, right? It's being recognized, again, like for your tenacity almost, because, you know, when we talk about the Five of Wands, the Five of Wands is a bit of conflict, maybe a little bit of competition. I see the Five of Wands as being, you know, like training also. Like I think about Mulan and, you know, when they're in training camp, learning how to be warriors, right? Like that's kind of the imagery of the Five of Wands. You're training for what's ahead of you. And then the Six of Wands being right after that is you being successful. Like you've won that battle. You've come out, you know, victorious. So the thing that was maybe causing you conflict, or that you have been putting so much attention in, pays off. And then we have the Star here, or the grandfathers. And the Star talks about hope, faith, keeping hope alive, right? This is also, you know, about like envisioning the future, like you know, your future life, and how do you want to feel about it? I always see the Star as being that space between prayer and, you know, kind of where we're manifesting things, like, you know, 5D stuff, right? Like, you know, when you're meditating, you're in space and, you know, just gooey and still, right? And like I said, even, you know, like where we send our prayers. So, you know, I see the Star as being the space between there and the 3D world where we are, where we exist, right? And we're just holding on, wishing on that star, right? Like really trying to pull down those manifestations from the 5D into the 3D. And in this deck with the grandfathers, it talks about taking the lessons from the people before and, you know, kind of continuing on the path, like continuing to build what they've already established. There could even be a bit of ancestral help here, like whoever is chiming my smoke alarm. Maybe you have somebody in your surroundings that has crossed over, and maybe they speak to you through chirps and pings and kind of messing around with electronics. Because, you know, in this card, we can see these grandfathers here showing this young person, you know, almost kind of like teaching them or informing them of things. We have the star up here. And they are, you know, kind of ghosts. Like this one is a bit transparent, right? So, you know, I mean, you could have the help of maybe even a grandfather. And then the 10 of Stones or the 10 of Pentacles. This, I mean, you know, it does talk about family, community. In this deck, it talks about finding your niche, finding your, that thing, right? That lights you up, but also brings you prosperity and abundance. Because Pentacles talk about, you know, income, money, the physical, tangible things that we can touch. Also talks about our physical health. But, you know, I mean, this person is kind of trading. There's, you could start doing markets, right? Like I was kind of saying here in the beginning, like maybe you're going to start putting out your products or your services. And then we have the Ace of Arrows or the Ace of Swords underneath that, which talks about ideas and inspiration and perspective. This is beautiful. So like I said, you know, I mean, like there's something that is either clicking for you and or it's going to be taking off, or it's taking off because it's kind of clicking for you. Like I know that for the last few months, like you guys have really been focused on the bag and really kind of getting yourself set up. And this almost kind of feels like, you know, the culmination of all, like that hard work is paying off here. There's also this energy of really kind of trusting your instincts, trusting yourself. Because that's what these three cards talk about. You have the knowledge. You have the experience. How does that, you know, like look like for you? It's like, you know, expressing yourself authentically, showing up truly as you are. And this level of, you know, like kind of success and victory, because people are going to recognize that. And that's what kind of draws people to you, is like, wow, you know, I see them being fully embodied by who they are. And it gives me permission to do the same. It makes me feel more comfortable and able to do that. And then we have, you know, the Fool, the World, and the Star here. So it's like the beginning, the whole thing coming together, the seeds that you're planting, you plant them, they come together. And, you know, it's almost kind of like you're able to guide people and almost maybe even be that pillar of hope for people in whatever capacity, you know, that is. Or maybe it even just gives you a sense of almost like confidence. Like you see it working out. You can see it coming together. And it's like everything that you were hoping and, again, like, you know, praying for, you can see it now. And it will pay off. Like literally pay off. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, Aries. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.